All right, welcome everyone to the Phoenix Report. I'm Jack Connor. We are here to cover, to provide a review. We had just two crazy huge, wrestling events this past weekend. One was NXT Takeover on Saturday, and the other one was last night. Sunday, August 23rd, which was SummerSlam 2015. With me, I have the panel. We have a little bit of a different change to the panel. As usual, we have Cory C-Dub Wilson from Chronocord.com.
Howdy.
We have my buddy Chad Radosevich from Beachbody.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
We have Brian Connolly from the band The Schmelts. He's a musician, comedian, and all-around wrestling nut, former FCW referee.
Why were you laughing right before you said my name?
Well, it's just you have that much comic charisma, my friend. That you just
That's right.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not Smart Mark McGillicuddy that's here this evening?
That's his dreaded alter ego. We don't want any part of that guy. And joining us for the first time, former backstage TNA producer Jennifer Kerstner. What's up, Jen?
Not much. How are you?
All right, welcome to the team. Providing some female perspective in this sausage party. So, all right,
it's always a plus.
All right, so let's get right to it. Cory, Jen, I know you guys saw NXT Takeover last night. What'd you guys think overall? Pretty good show.
Ladies first, Jen.
I think so. I think it was a great show. I think there are parts that could have been better. Maybe I'm a little biased because I work with Joe and I love Joe, so anything Joe does, I'm gonna love. Sure. But I think Joe's match was the best on the card.
Okay.
And I think they're overworking Kevin Owens.
Yeah. I would definitely have to agree with both of those sentiments, Jennifer. I think that Samoa Joe is really starting to come into his own in NXT, and I feel like that Joe's potential long term is much higher with WWE than it was ever with TNA. Maybe not with ROH. Of course, ROH is smaller, but Joe did a fantastic job, and overall, I was just really pleased with the entire card as a whole. I thought that it really captured the excitement that fans today crave and that they need. We live in an ADD generation, so everybody wants that instant gratification, and NXT was action-packed and fantastic from start to finish.
Good stuff, guys. Oh, one more thing before we get started into the review. Is it me, or did the house lighting in NXT TakeOver, it looks like they blacked out a lot of the upper sections to make it look smaller. Did anyone else notice that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they may have actually, I'm not positive, but I think they may have cordoned off part of the arena for that. I don't think it was the full Barclays Center, but I could be wrong there.
Because, to me that just seems odd, because they have been touting it as being a sold-out venue, which it was. Huge attendance. Like, why would you want to make that event look smaller? I don't get that. If you have a lot of people in the crowd, why not make it look like a bigger thing instead of try to downplay it as compared to SummerSlam? That just I don't really get that. So, anyways, moving on. I think the show opened with Tyler Breeze taking on Jushin Thunder Liger, the legendary Japanese wrestler.
Oh, yeah. Liger is, it's crazy to see after 35 years in the business, Jushin Thunder Liger coming and having his first WWE match. Liger, along with the great Muta, was probably single-handedly responsible, each of them, for turning a lot of American wrestling fans who otherwise wouldn't pay attention to Japan, and making them fans of Japan. It was awesome to see Liger come back in '97 after he beat a brain tumor, which is just insane in and of itself. But to see him bring all this full circle and really have a moment in the spotlight again on a big stage in front of the American audience is fantastic. And I hope that this leads to some more perhaps business ventures between New Japan and WWE. I know that some of the management and those who are in power with New Japan were at the NXT TakeOver card, so that should be something interesting to monitor moving forward.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Liger looked great in the ring. I mean, for a guy who's been in the business 30 years, that's pretty impressive. It definitely makes you wonder if WWE has any further plans with him going forward, or if it's just a one-time deal. I thought both guys looked really great. Liger going over with the running Liger bomb, I think, was the right move. I mean, because otherwise, why even bring him in at all if he's just going to job? So I don't think either guy looked bad in it. So, that was a really good opening match, I thought. It was kind of cool to see Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and X-Pac in the crowd. Didn't really expect that. There was even a vignette for I don't even know if I'm saying that word, for Nia Jax, who's a new NXT diva. Apparently, she is her real name is Lena Finene, and she's the cousin of The Rock. Cory, do you know anything about her?
Yeah, she is indeed a cousin of The Rock. She's part of the or a distant relative, or somewhat related in some way to the Anoa'i family. And they're already pushing her. I know that she hasn't been wrestling long, but there should be another chapter in the Samoan wrestling dynasty of all these great workers over the years who have just been fantastic.
No doubt. Then we had the NXT Tag Team Championship match. It was Blake and Murphy, accompanied by Alexa Bliss, defending their titles against the Vaudevillains, who apparently were surprisingly accompanied by Blue Pants.
Yeah.
What do you guys know about this chick? I've been kind of aware of her for a little bit. She's definitely got a goofy, quirky gimmick, but it's kind of funny. Like her theme song is just some dude saying da 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 da. Like it's wacky, but obviously she fits right in with the Vaudevillains.
It's wacky and it's refreshing at the same time, because at least it's not the same thing. I'm just glad to not see the same damn thing.
Absolutely.
I agree. It's definitely quirky, but it's definitely just adorable at the same time.
Yeah, Leva Bates, she was, a hell of a worker on the indies, and she's getting her shot here in NXT, and complete with the Price is Right theme song. I'm pretty sure that's what that theme music is. I think
supposed to be that. I believe she was trained by Team 3D at the Team 3D Academy.
She was, and also by Roderick Strong when NWA Florida was around, because that's when I first met her.
Okay,
yeah.
So Jen,
she was dating Eric Stevens. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Florida indie scene, but she was dating Eric Stevens at the time, and it looks like she made it further than he did.
Jen, do you know her pretty well, or?
I actually knew her really well. She did some TNA stuff. She was one of the people who got pulled out of the audience and got 3D through a table at one point, and it was because she was with the Team 3D Academy. But she also worked at Universal. She was Sarah Connor. I don't know how many of you did the
cool.
Terminator.
Yeah, the Terminator 2 3D ride. That's cool.
Yeah, she was Sarah Connor for a full time. So.
No relation to me, of course. So the match was pretty good. The Vaudevillains are definitely funny. I mean, it's definitely a funny gimmick. It's kind of a one note thing, but they make it work for them. Aiden English is apparently like an experienced theater actor. I did some research on this guy, so that definitely brings a lot to the gimmick, I think. And he's apparently engaged to Shaul Guerrero.
Yes,
really?
Heard
Did
that.
not know that. News to me.
Yeah. English ends up going over with the sort of like a high senton, sort of almost like a swanton, Jeff Hardy style. They ended up going in there, so they got the belts. So that's pretty cool for them to get the rub. Hopefully it'll work well for them.
I think it will. I mean, those guys are very popular with the crowd. Both of them are good workers. They're entertaining to watch in their own ways, and to be honest, I hate to be negative, but I said this on Twitter that Blake and Murphy remind me of High Voltage from WCW. And take that as what you will. Whatever it is about their gimmick or whatever, it just doesn't really grasp me as a viewer.
I see what you mean, Cory, because they look like good workers, but they just look like generic wrestling heels. Like there's nothing really special about their gimmick.
Yeah.
They don't even have unique names. It's just Blake and Murphy. They don't even have first names, last names. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the reason why they've put Alexa Bliss with them, is to kind of spice things up a little bit.
Right.
And I think that that's been accomplished. But overall, I think these guys have a little bit longer way to go before they're really taken seriously as a top tag team.
Right, like I think they switched up the ring gear a little bit. It's like, I guess, Blake's in trunks now, but still, like, it's still kind of the same thing. They just sort of have that generic look about them. But yeah, they got Alexa Bliss with them, so she's a pretty good worker as well. I thought it was interesting that they had Rick Rubin in the crowd, the legendary producer Rick Rubin.
Yeah, he's a huge wrestling fan. He's been at a lot of events. I've seen him.
Is he really?
Yep.
I had no idea.
Actually, Rick Rubin was the financial backer for the Knoxville-based Smoky Mountain Wrestling from 92 to 95 up here in East Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah, that was the guy who, him and Cornette basically made the connection, and Rubin was just a huge wrestling fan, and he loved that style of wrestling, old school wrestling. That's what he likes.
Wow. Who knew? Rick Rubin, Mr. New York City, like Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Yeah.
He and Billy Corgan should hang out.
I would love to take part in that conversation. And
these like alt guys who are into wrestling. You never pin them for that, but who knows?
Actually, you know who else surprised me? That is the guitar player from Tool, Adam Jones. He's a huge WWE fan.
Really?
He is.
Yep.
Very
those
interesting.
weirdos.
Hey, you never know. It takes all kinds, I guess. Moving on, we had the debut of Apollo Crews taking on Ty Dillinger. What did you guys think about this guy?
That
doesn't sound good.
I liked it. More time was needed for me to feel them out. I think I'm going to need to see some more matches going forward because I don't want to say like, oh, I hate both of you. Right. but because I don't hate any wrestler. Anybody who's got it in their heart and is out there for the right reasons, I love you automatically.
Right.
But maybe that's
just didn't really do anything for you right off the bat.
But I wasn't feeling it. Like I want to feel it when you're in the ring. I should see it on your face that you love it and you want to be there. I need to feel it, and that debut, I wasn't feeling it.
Okay, that's interesting. I know that Apollo Crews was formerly called Yuha Nation, and he worked in Dragon Gate Wrestling for a little bit. Really, I personally was impressed. I mean, here's a big guy, really athletic, agile, was like doing high flyer stuff as well as power moves. Seems really charismatic. The guy has star written all over him, so I'm sure he's going to do really, really well. Ty Dillinger is like trying out the Perfect 10 gimmick, which has gotten over surprisingly fast. He even has it like shaved into the back of his head. I saw signs in the crowd, so it seems to be working out for him.
Yeah, I thought Dillinger was it's something different. It's not anything special, but I kind of agree partway between Jack and Jen, both of your opinions. I feel like we need to see more time out of Apollo, whatever he's being called now. And I have a couple of concerns with him doing all this athletic stuff because, like, that backflip, the moonsault, it looks fantastic, but if he screws up and slips, that's not good for a 260-pounder to do it. It's bad whenever a guy the size of Neville, Pac, does it, but a guy that big, man, I like his look, I like his intensity, but I think he needs more time and more character development. He doesn't just need to be another, I'm big and I'm hyped up, I'm Mojo Rawley times 10, whatever. That seems to be a pretty typical mold that WWE uses, and I think that he needs to break out of that and really show all of his personality.
Interesting. It looks like he's pretty good on the mic. I mean, I'm definitely digging his moveset so far. But yeah, we'll have to see where they go with this guy. The Apollo Crews character seems interesting.
What do you guys think of that name, Apollo Crews?
Well, obviously we know where it comes from. It's probably not the most original name.
Yeah, the way they spell Crews kind of gives it away. That Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Apollo is like, come on, it's just like the WWE name generator.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, he's just gonna be Crews by the time he gets to the main roster,
or
right?
just Apollo, or
Yeah.
depending on what mood Vince is in at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I've heard worse ring names. Let's put it that way.
Max Moon comes to mind.
Michael McGillicuddy. Husky
How about
Harris. Hello.
How about Lloyd Bonaire?
Yes. That's what Daniel Bryan would have been called.
The gobbledygooker. Actually, Steve Austin was going to be called Chili McFreeze.
Shut up.
At one point.
Yeah.
That's not real.
I swear to you. Why would I lie? Why would I make that up?
Stagger Steve Austin sitting here with Hershey the Wonder Dog.
Oh, Steve, I'm so glad you could join the podcast.
That's Chili McFreeze to you, son.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Thank
Chili
you.
McFreeze 316.
Oh, my goodness. All right, well, anyways. Thanks for the run-in from Austin over there. We had a segment. William Regal announced the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. That sounds awesome.
Heck yeah.
I love it. I can only hope that it's going to be Dusty's wackiest creation of his many creations. I really, really want to see another Battle Bowl format tournament. As nonsensical as they are, they're always fun. I don't know about being dragged out over weeks and weeks of TV. I'm thinking realistically this is probably going to be the Crockett Cup 2015 or the Pat O'Connor Tag Team Tournament 2015. It should be fantastic, and I hope that they book it in a style that Dusty always used to book, that old school style, but hopefully they leave the Dusty finishes.
Yeah, they all need to have Dusty finishes, for sure.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, God.
It's only fitting.
I just like the more attention to tag team wrestling. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It always is.
Absolutely. And, yeah, well, after they did that, they had the Final Four from Tough Enough in the crowd. It's kind of cool they flew them up for that. So they're really hyping up that show, which I believe airs tomorrow, or at least the day after we're recording this thing. So
yeah, it's kind of hard to predict the winner to that. I don't know if you want to discuss that or not, but...
I mean, we have so much to cover with these two events that I'm not even going to bother. I will say that I'm rooting for ZZ though. Anyway,
I will say that I think it's rigged.
oh,
Yep.
Gee, you think?
Yeah.
Anything Vince might put his hands in could be rigged.
Shocking.
Yeah.
A reality show that might be fixed.
Our votes don't count.
Yeah.
Well, pretty. I think it's going to be Josh and Amanda because they have the look that Vince is into. But
I guess.
ZZ and Sarah would be the big underdog victory. But that's all we have to say about that. 'Cause
if they don't give ZZ a job, they're missing the boat. Whether he wins or loses, I don't care.
If they don't give ZZ a job, ZZ's going back to the boat and going to wrestle gators.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I
he could be the other Wyatt brother if he grows out a beard.
Dude,
There you go.
I mean, that kid could be the next, Dusty Rhodes for all we know. He's got the charisma, so we'll see. Anyways, moving on back to the show. Anyway, we had Joe going against Baron Corbin. I gotta say, this kid Corbin, he's just a natural at getting heat. He's not trying to be a cool heel. He's just a nasty dude, and I like that.
Go ahead, Jen.
I agree with that assessment of Baron Corbin.
Yeah, really physical guy in the ring. The match was great. I think both guys looked great because Joe won by submission, the Kikina clutch, but Corbin didn't tap, so that still makes him look strong even in losing. So I think both guys came out pretty well on this one.
I think so too. I'm a huge Joe fan. I'm not really sold on Corbin. It's not that he's bad or anything, but it's just another generic badass, and I feel like nowadays we need a little something more than that. I think he's got a great look. He's a big guy. He's pretty athletic for his size.
Really good on the mic too.
He's all right. I mean, he hasn't had a lot of mic time though, from what I've seen. he's just...
Well, they had a vignette earlier before the match, which I thought built it up pretty good.
Yeah. And, I got to say, I think that the tap-out finish there, I have a feeling this isn't the last we're going to see of Joe and Corbin. I think this one's going to keep going on a little bit longer, and I hope to see Joe take the edge on this one.
Gotcha. By the way, I believe it's pronounced vignette, so suck
it.
It. Right,
I've been dying to say that for about 2 minutes.
Sorry about it. So suck it, Twitter haters. All right.
Vignette.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, grammar police. Okay, moving on. We had Flair and Slaughter in the crowd, along with Kana. I guess she's a really famous Japanese women's wrestler. Cory, do you know anything about her?
Yeah, she's a hell of a worker. I mean, that's about the best I can say. She has a good look. She likes to do some more kind of over the top type stuff as far as her look. From what I've seen, in her entrances and stuff, and in her attire, I think she would be a pretty good plug and play recruit for WWE. They could probably bring her in, give her a month or two to learn the WWE style, and learn assuming she doesn't know English, let her learn enough English to go in the ring, and I think she'd be all right.
Gotcha. Is she older, or I couldn't really tell in the thing? So has she been around for a while?
I want to say she's in her late 20s, early 30s.
Oh,
I could be wrong, but there's kind of a stigma in Japanese women's wrestling. There always has been. Once you reach a certain age, you kind of move on, which that could be a Japanese culture thing or whatever. But
maybe
typically a lot of the big Joshi stars end up, they'll have a run from like 17, 18 until they're maybe 26, 27-ish.
That makes sense.
And that's it.
That makes sense. By the way, we're all in that age range. That probably makes us all feel a little old.
Know, right?
Hello. Anyways, we had next we had the NXT Women's Championship match. Bayley going over, defeating Sasha Banks, which, for my money, I mean, as good as this pay-per-view was, I think, for me, match of the night.
Agreed.
I mean, that was just incredible all the way through. I mean, everything from the entrances, the crowd reaction, the storytelling, the offense, 5-star match in my opinion. It was like a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, I mean, I like seeing Bayley finally get her just due and capturing the title. I think that she's great in the ring. She's genuinely likable, which I think...
Oh, she's absolutely adorable. I've got a huge crush on her right now.
Yeah, and, I think that also rubs some people the wrong way. So I think that could work out good for her in the long run if ever, this whole smiley, happy Bayley thing goes south.
You want to go heel on it?
Yeah, it could work, man. Sometimes that happy, as we're seeing with the New Day right now on WWE.
Oh, my God, those guys are just crushing it right now. Oh.
They're so happy, everybody hates them.
Oh, my God, they're amazing. We're going to get to them later.
Remember when Mickey James was like super duper happy and all up in Trish Stratus?
Yeah, Psycho Mickey.
That's who she's kind of reminding me of right now, just like so happy to be there, but yet she could be a heel at any time if the crowd wanted her to.
Interesting pool.
I'm just hoping that once she goes to the main roster that they don't turn her cuteness into like an idiot. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, like, Maria, the backstage interviewer, before they made her, like, have all these crazy smart, like, she'd just come out of nowhere with this awesome vocabulary at just the right time.
That was actually pretty funny. I liked her character back then. She was, like, the cute ditzy girl, but then she, like, turned smart all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, my only concern is that once she comes to the main roster, I hope that she doesn't get turned into, like, the female Eugene.
Bayley, I doubt it. I doubt it. They would.
Well, look at what they did with Emma for a while there.
Right.
Like she's back in NXT again. But...
Yeah, she was up with Santino for a bit, and
yeah, she was like the next bushwhacker doing her little dance.
Well, yeah, it's her country, man. So there you go.
Yeah, see, that's all Vince can think of with people from New Zealand.
Well, yeah. Oh, boy.
I like Emma.
By the way, happy birthday, Vince McMahon. Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
He's 70 today.
Looks great.
Jackhammer. Yeah.
Goddamn, pal. Look at my pecs.
Yeah.
Grapefruit.
Good Lord.
Grapefruit.
I don't know when the
He's gonna puke.
I don't know when the retirement age is for WWE, but hint, hint.
It's never happening.
Come on,
Forget
Vince.
it.
Never
Vince,
gonna
never.
happen, man.
No,
Never, ever.
Deathbed, giving the final instructions for Raw.
Absolutely.
I think Vince will be booking from beyond the grave. He's too stubborn.
I fully expect the cryogenically frozen head of Vince McMahon to make an appearance at WrestleMania 50.
Yeah.
And he's gonna revive the XFL around that time. It'll be the 50th anniversary of the first XFL.
You know what the secret is to his longevity? The secret is to his longevity? Ico Pro.
Exactly.
Gotta want it.
He's got the only supply of it in the world.
Of course. That's keeping him alive. It's like he'll be hanging out with Walt Disney at WrestleMania 50.
And Lord Alfred Hayes.
Again with Lord Alfred Hayes.
He's got to get a mention every single time from me.
Just for no reason.
I'll tell you someday.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I don't have the heart to Google it right now.
I wouldn't.
Anyway, speaking of deviants, Seth Rollins was in the crowd with, I guess, his new girlfriend. I don't know, or was that the girl that he cheated on that one other chick with and sent those pictures to? I don't know.
Yeah, it actually ties into the Lord Alfred Hayes reference.
Exactly.
Seth Rollins was tweeting out.
Exactly. You like how I segued into that?
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Lord Alfred didn't have the luxury of having a camera phone.
Yeah, that's not the kind of promotional consideration we want. So, all right.
I love Lord Alfred. He's great. Him and Gorilla Monsoon and Sean Mooney.
Well, even if he is a freak, who cares? He's so cool. We don't even mind. Anyways, we had the main event, the NXT Championship ladder match, which was just brutal. It was Finn Balor defending against Kevin Owens. I gotta say, Owens had offense for 75% of the match. It seemed like.
Yeah, he was. He's the heel, man. The heel generally dictates the pace of the match. That's what he did. I do agree with Jen's sentiment earlier that they're kind of overworking Kevin Owens here. They're kind of overexposing him a little bit too much, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing Raw and SmackDown, that loop plus NXT full time. So I'm hoping they're kind of phasing him out of NXT and just putting him up on the main roster. Just at least backing off on, and plus doing 2 nights in a row with one being a ladder match. That's insane.
Yeah.
Not to mention
he might be trying to prove that he's a workhorse though, or something like that.
That's true.
Maybe,
That's true.
Maybe.
That might be his call to say no, let me work as much as possible, prove myself.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean he might be one of the best heels in the business right now. He is genuinely
he's a natural heel.
and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, he's like a bully, and he's his whole look, his whole
I mean, he's not a good-looking guy. You know, he's genuinely nasty on the mic. Got great crowd work. Always just very disrespectful. He just, he doesn't look like an athlete, but he looks like he could just punch the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally agree with
and
that.
Really agile as well.
Really good.
Man, he was doing moonsaults like Bam Bam Bigelow used to do back in the day. The only other big man I've seen do moonsault.
Yeah, good pull.
How tall is he?
Doesn't
look that tall.
Owens? I don't know. I mean, he looks like he might be about maybe over 6 feet. I'm not sure.
I would guess about 6'1".
He's got everything perfect, except for he just doesn't look like a wrestler. He needs to lose 20 pounds and then put on some muscle of 20 pounds in his arms so he looks like he's got Hogan arms or something. He just looks like a fat guy.
That's why they're overworking him like that, so he'll drop some LBs.
I hope. Because I like him. But other than that, he just doesn't look like a wrestler to me.
I mean, since he was Kevin Steen in ROH, he's always looked like that. Actually, he was fat for an ROH.
He was, yeah.
Right, maybe that's part of the appeal, though, just because he looks different.
It is to me. It's 110% to me.
And it makes it all the more impressive.
Samoa Joe isn't exactly in WWE type shape that they usually look for.
Which kind of makes it all the more impressive that they can do the things they do.
Right.
Yeah.
He's Samoan. But when he's standing next to John Cena, it just looks like he's just some... It just doesn't look
if Susan Boyle can be successful in the pop realm.
Wait a minute.
That we can have a few in the WWE.
Wait a minute.
I don't care. I like him, whatever, but he
hang on a second.
Yes, I just compared Kevin Owens to Susan Boyle.
I was just going to ask you that. Really? Did that just happen?
What about Adele or, I don't know.
Oh, God, yeah.
Who's the other?
I can see
Megan Trainor's all about that bass, so, you know.
What are you, a sizist now all of a sudden?
Susan,
look at yourself in the mirror. Come on.
A sizist. No, I'm allowed to. Hey, I've dropped some serious LBs.
Well, good, good. I'm glad. Anyways,
I don't know why I keep saying that LBs.
LBs. It sounds legit. Hey, let's talk about Finn Balor for a second. Is it me? This guy has money written all over him. He's going to be a huge, huge star if he's booked right. I'm telling you, this guy could be the next Sting.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, he has that excitement, that youthful energy to him. He can legitimately go. I mean, he's experienced. He's not, this guy's paid his dues. He knows what he's doing. I think more than anything, it's just a matter of him being in Japan and Europe for the majority of his career with some limited time in the U.S. And I think it's really him finding his niche in the U.S. And I think he's really kind of come into that with the demon gimmick and the paint.
Oh, dude, he's over like crazy.
He is, and I think I can comfortably say, as a heterosexual male, that he's a pretty handsome guy. I think
I'm sure women just love the dude.
I see that guy being one of those people who could cross over if he does make, it's just a matter of time. If he makes the main roster and really takes off and gets promoted as a big deal. I feel like that he's one of those guys who could cross over, who has that look. And I'm always entertained by him, always entertained by Owens. I hate to discount the ladder match with Owens and Balor, but Bayley and Sasha Banks was just a hell of a match.
I agree. This ladder match was incredible, though. Some of the back bumps that like that. There was that one bump that Owens took off the ladder, and right into another ladder, and that was just it looked really painful. Plus with Balor giving the coup de grace off the top of the ladder, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I just hope those guys, hope it's not taking too much of a toll on these guys' bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, ladder matches are good, whenever they pull them out for a big deal like this. And they make them a special attraction and not just ladder match, oh well.
Definitely. They're so painful, though.
Oh, yeah.
Ladder matches are probably one of my favorite types of matches, like the Money in the Bank or just TLC. Any of those ladder matches are usually awesome.
I will say that I did notice that Kevin Owens went and specifically got one ladder that I could tell really, really easy was gimmicked all to hell.
Oh, you think so?
I know so. Yeah, I saw it. It was gimmicked.
Still real to me, damn it.
How do you gimmick those things? They still look like they're hard as hell to land on.
Well, I mean, the main thing is just making sure that there's no sharp edges, really, is what they try to do, and that it breaks cleanly in one big chunk and looks somewhat realistic without cutting the shit out of you and causing a major issue.
Okay. Kind of like the table last night at SummerSlam. The broadcaster's table that Brock got thrown into, or Undertaker got thrown into, or it just fell right to pieces. That was
very surprisingly not the Spanish announce table, by the way.
I
was shocked.
Right. Well, hey, speaking of announce tables and everything, let's get to the big show, SummerSlam. I'm assuming you guys all watched it.
Yes.
So the opening segment with Jon Stewart and Mick Foley, which was hilarious, I thought.
Yeah, it was pretty good. They're good friends, so they're
definitely. Is it me, or does Mick look like more and more haggard with every appearance?
That's the charm of Mrs. Foley's baby boy.
Well, of course, we love him anyway. It's just, come on, trim the beard a little bit, Mick.
Oh! What are you doing?
Hey,
easy on the beard there, angel face.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
at least he's done with the whole Santa Claus gimmick where he was dressed like Santa every week.
Is he done with it? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, he did it for a year to promote some documentary. That's actually a good documentary. I saw it.
You gotta love it. Mick is a huge Santa mark. But
And he's doing the stand-up comedy stuff now, so he's got to just look the part and not give a shit.
Seeing him at Side Splitters here in Tampa, he was just hilarious and wonderful, and made me my own Mr. Sacco. And
was that most recently, or the first time he was in town? A year.
This is the most recent one.
Right. I saw him the last time he was there. It was
pretty
fun.
Jay Lethal up there doing his Ric Flair impression with him, so it was a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, he had Gerald Briscoe up on stage at the one I saw. Nice.
She's like, "What am I doing here,
Mr. McMahon?
I have no idea how to tell jokes. Get me off of here."
I beg to differ, sir. You put last time we saw Gerald Briscoe, you put a couple beers in him. He'll he'll be good to go.
Well, yeah,
he'll tell some Pat Patterson stories, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Corey, when you and I saw Briscoe, he was just talking about. You guys were just talking college football the entire time. I didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah, I was talking college football with him. I had to give him a hard time and say that he was a Oklahoma Sooner, knowing, in fact, that he was from Oklahoma State. And he said, "I bet that damn Jim Ross put you up to this." No, he didn't. But.
All right, hey, Boomer Sooner. All right, whatever.
Hey, Gerald Briscoe is a former WWF Hardcore champion.
Yeah, yes, right. Yes, he was. Evening gown match from hell. Good times.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Let's not go there.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Very much too soon.
King of 2000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's way too soon.
Sad that I know that.
Isn't it sad that we all know this?
Yeah, it's sad that I was just watching it recently.
That network subscription pays for itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was watching Judgment Day 2000 last night to see The Undertaker return as the biker. That confused the hell out of everybody watching. Right. It was like, what?
Hey, dude. He chokeslammed the shit out of X-Pac whenever he came into that match.
It's like, hey, everybody, it's The Undertaker, sort of.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyways, I was feeling nostalgic after the SummerSlam gimmick, but yeah, that's where we are now.
Well, there you go. The opening credits were pretty cool. What was the deal with the Demi Lovato song being the theme song?
Oh, my God. You know what that song's about, by the way?
No, but my question is that, okay, let's look at the demographics for WWE. It's mainly like guys aged 18 to 35 and young kids. Who is that song for?
Yeah, man, something's going on lately.
That's for me.
They need somebody that looks into these things, the submission sorority deal, which turned out to be a porn site.
Yeah, oops.
And now this Demi Lovato song is about her falling in love with a girl for the first time and being pretty, not just falling in love, I should say, but it's pretty raunchy and explicit. Holy cow.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh, not at all. Little HLA never hurt anybody.
Oh,
I'm willing to bet that Kevin Dunn is a huge Demi Lovato fan.
Sure.
And Jim Johnson, the guy who does music, he seems like that would be right up his alley. He's like a big No Doubt fan. I heard him say. It was like,
you think it's Vince going, hey, this is what the kids are listening to?
Yeah, Vince has no idea about music. Forget it.
No, Vince is probably up to speed to about 2000 by now, maybe 2001.
Well, that's good. That's an improvement, I guess. The show opened with Sheamus and Randy Orton. I thought that was a pretty good match. I thought both guys came off pretty well. Both guys really had a lot of good effort into it. I loved Sheamus yelling at the crowd before the match, saying
that was good.
Stupid.
He got up on the table and cut a promo on the crowd. That was great.
I love that guy.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think Sheamus is way better as a heel, and Orton, Orton can kind of go either way. I've always been such a huge fan of Randy Orton in the ring, but his character just doesn't really. Again, it just doesn't really grab me. It doesn't engage me as a viewer. But he is awesome in the ring, and I think Sheamus is a great heel.
I agree. I think until recently, Orton had sort of a boring personality, but I've come around on him lately. I think he's
I think the RKO out of nowhere aspect makes it kind of cool to watch Randy Orton now.
I agree, and I think his mic work has gotten better since he turned babyface. So
yeah, I don't like him as a heel for sure. It's really boring as a heel. But
right.
Yeah, I'll take him as a baby.
It's tough to cheer for him though, but I mean he's making it work. But he even got some color in the match, which I know they don't like blood nowadays anymore.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of that last night.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Sheamus got the clean win with the bro kick. That was good. By the way, was it... What the hell? Who's typing over there?
What's going on?
My bad.
Did you have a
Who's
cat
rummaging through a box of cassette tapes over there?
I am, yes.
Going through the junk drawer.
I'm looking for my Vanilla Ice tape. Sorry.
That's what I would say.
That's what the kids are listening to, right?
We're going to bring them into Raw.
Good stuff. Vanilla Ice for guest host. By the way,
don't give me many ideas.
Was anyone laughing at the draft the two kids who won the DraftKings contest getting booed at ringside?
Yeah,
I love
I would
that.
have booed him too.
It's typical Brooklyn crowd, you know.
That one guy had That one guy had a schnoz on him, man. He could, jeez Louise.
Well, they wanted him to do stunt work for Triple H. I think that's that was it. Hey, we had the tag team championship 4-way. The primetime players against the New Day, Big E and Kofi, versus the Lucha Dragons versus Los Matadores. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. New Day might be like the funniest heel tag team / faction since Edge and Christian.
Yeah, the right team won last night, man. They deserve the win.
But that opening promo about hip hop and having the pitch pipes and everything and singing.
Holy cow, man! Yeah, and Kofi turns out to be a really good heel. Like, he was the one I wasn't sure about, but
he's the funniest out of the three of them, I think.
Yeah, man, it was good stuff.
He's got that big goofy smile. He's got like the reverse clap, the big circular thing. Like his hair's in pigtails the entire time. It's hysterical.
Yeah, they found the right thing for them for sure with this. This is pretty awesome.
Hysterically funny, but they still get heat too. Like they.
I wish I could say the same about Los Matadores, which is.
Oh God,
it's really bad.
They keep hanging on to that gimmick, and I
feel so bad for them.
For Primo.
Yeah,
and
man. Yeah, those guys are awesome, but they're getting. I don't know what you call it.
It's such an early, 90s like Duke the Dumpster Grossi.
Oh,
type
Tito
gimmick.
Santana already was El Matador back in '91.
Yeah.
It's very unoriginal. Like, we saw this already.
Los Conquistadors.
Yes.
Not to mention that they're Puerto Rican, and everybody knows they are.
Yeah.
They're bullfighters.
Not only, it's got to be such a weird parallel for them being the sons, one of them's a nephew, the other one's his son.
Yeah, Carlos Colon.
Of Carlos Colon, the most popular wrestler in Puerto Rican history. That guy is a bona fide legend.
Hall of Famer.
I mean,
Hall of Famer last year.
Carlos Colon could say, kill this man, and he would have the entire island of Puerto Rico after one person. I mean, that guy was huge in Puerto Rico in his time, and it's just got to be a weird parallel to come to WWE, and they're just kind of like, whatever.
It's all we got for you.
This is all Creative has for you at this time.
Oof.
Like, I'm pretty sure Carlos Colon has mob ties and could have Vince McMahon killed. I don't know.
I'm not touching that one with a 40-foot pole.
Anyways, this is our last episode of the Phoenix Report. No, I'm just kidding. The match was actually pretty cool. I mean, for something that we've seen for the last month or so on Raw, but they kind of stepped up the work. Titus is just a beast in the ring. Like, I could see a big singles run for him at some point.
I could see the same. I think he has a lot of potential. Especially after getting a vicious chop to the chest from him. I don't know if you guys saw that on social media.
Yeah. Chad got chopped by Titus O'Neil. I got to post.
That's a big hand mark on my chest.
I know. I got to post a link to that in the description. It's pretty incredible.
It hurt like hell too.
Yeah. I remember you sending me that video. I'm like, Chad, why would you do that to yourself?
I thought he would say no, but he's like, oh yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do a vicious chop. I'm like, oh no. All right.
It's like, Titus, will you please punch me in the face?
No, not in the face. I thought he was going to go backhanded chop, and he went, forward hand chop right across, and it was just like, damn, that woke me right up, man.
Titus, will you please kiss my mother on the mouth? What
Chad,
what else would you want him to do to you?
Chad, did it make you say, "Arr"?
Did you see it, Cory?
I didn't. I got to see that.
Oh yeah, we got to post that up.
Show it to him, Jack.
Yeah, I will for sure.
And he said he was only going half speed too, and I'm like, no way. But
oh yeah,
he says he hits him a lot harder in the ring.
Now I'm gonna find the video on YouTube of me being 3D through the table.
Nice.
Wait, when did that happen?
Oh my God! When was that? 2007.
Wow.
December 2007.
Good for you. I don't know.
So you were there whenever TNA was awesome then?
Yeah, I was there when TNA was awesome.
That's fine. We got an explicit tag. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Fuck, shit,
All right, don't celebrate it, Brian. Yeah, that was crazy. Is there anyone who talks more crap ringside than Xavier Woods does? Like, I don't think Heyman even shuts up more than this guy.
I love it, man.
That's great. You should have seen what he was doing on Raw earlier tonight. Spoilers. I'm not going to say anything, but hysterically funny.
Who's that?
Xavier Woods, I mean. But
I got some spoilers for Raw, but I won't say nothing.
We don't have to get into that tonight. But I love that post-match dance celebration.
Dude, that was the most amazing. Like, I watched that probably 10 times today, over and over again. I mean,
I gotta say, it looked like Big E was doing the big wiggle there.
Maybe.
It was.
Norman Smiley.
Wow.
It definitely was.
NXT trainer Norman Smiley.
It was unbelievable that they were doing the big wiggle at Summerslam.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it almost seemed like they were getting a babyface pop at the end, which, isn't necessarily what they want to do. But I mean, I guess
that's just the Brooklyn crowd. I think
friggin' smart crowds, I swear. They're both great and awful at the same time.
Yeah, a little bit.
I like the Jon Stewart, Stephen Amell, Neville segment with with Taker randomly walking by and the lights going out.
That was kind of funny.
Was the kid there? Was that Jon Stewart's son? I couldn't tell who that was.
That's what I was guessing.
Maybe like a Make-A-Wish kid? I couldn't tell that.
No, I think it was supposed to be Jon Stewart's son. I don't know if it really was or not, but
gotcha.
Child actor, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. Could have been one of Shane's kids for all we know.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowhere to be found.
Wow. That's stiff. Anyways, we had Dolph versus Rusev, which, by the way, Lana looked gorgeous in the full-on rocker chick get-up she had with like the denim tuxedo. Oh, my God.
I think Summer Rae looks a lot better, I have to say.
When
she's pretending to be someone else.
Yeah.
Like, stole Lana's old look, and
I agree.
I don't know where Lana's going with that. She's still got to talk Russian, but dressed like a... I don't know. It's very odd.
Hey, I'm going to put this out there. You guys can agree or disagree with it if you want, but is it me or is Lana the most popular female manager since Miss Elizabeth?
I'm not sure I would necessarily say since Elizabeth, but I would say that she's the most popular female manager in WWE today.
I have to interject and say that Sunny was pretty popular.
Okay, Sunny.
At least in my household.
And then, of course, Sable. I mean, it's hard to argue with her success.
Well, true. I guess Terry Runnels you could throw in there as well. She was pretty popular.
I have to say, though, how strange is it for Lana, who basically took her gimmick from Drago's wife from Rocky IV, to now have that gimmick ripped off by Summer Rae. This is insanity.
And to be in the corner of a guy named Dolph. So there you go.
Holy cow! I never caught that.
That's what you call ironic.
Don't you think?
It's like rain on your wedding day.
That's not a coincidence. It's irony.
Anyways, that was a pretty good match all around. Rusev definitely pulled out some agility that I haven't seen before from him. But like, what's with that finish? A double countout on a pay-per-view? Are you kidding me?
Nah.
They're setting up a mixed tag match somewhere down the line.
There was a lot of sketchy finishes last night at SummerSlam.
Oh, I know, Chad. You texted me off.
Summer Sham.
You texted me really pissed off last night. I could tell you were.
Yeah, not the best finishes I've seen. I guess that's because Dusty's no longer around, perhaps. But
was that a tribute to him? I don't know, but it's like, I mean, how long are they going to drag out this angle? Like, I'm kind of.
Last night, SummerSlam should have been the culmination. Sure,
right, like wrap it up.
I'm thinking that the culmination of it is the mixed tag team match, and yeah, pretty much that's going to be it. I was thinking from the beginning that Lana would end up being revealed as like a double agent on behalf of Rusev, some kind of espionage gimmick.
Yeah,
but
the whole Russian spy thing is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, they could still do
like
that.
us.
They could still do it, but I'm not sure that they're going to.
Right.
Isn't he back to being the Bulgarian brute?
That's true.
Yeah, saying Bulgaria now.
Right. Say he's from Russia. No one knows where Bulgaria is.
Very confusing.
Is that Vince?
Vince, yeah. God, that guy will not shut up.
Kofi Kingston is from Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Santino Marelli's from Italy.
Yeah, he's definitely not from Toronto. Anyways, up next we had, which was a lot better than I thought it would be, Neville and Stephen Amell versus Stardust and King Barrett.
Yeah, how about that?
Hey guys! By the way, this match is like a comic book. In case you haven't been reminded.
Yeah, in case you had to be reminded by the video package.
Like,
in case you didn't get it by the 50 times they beat you over the head with it.
It's like they're superheroes and supervillains. Yeah, we get it.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the fact that JBL referred to Neville as the man that forgot gravity.
I didn't catch that. That's amazing.
Yeah, he did.
You gotta go back and then he corrected himself. But I think that works better. Is that he just forgot what gravity was?
I think WWE's IT department needs to get in there and reset the CPU on that cyborg.
Right.
Ball game, Moggle.
How many times did it say Moggle?
Moggle.
It's not Michael. It's Maggle. Maggle. Maggle.
Sounds drunk out there. He probably is.
Yeah, he probably had a few beers with Simmons before going out there.
Shit,
Yeah. Stephen Amell looked really good in the ring. Like, he definitely did some training. I mean, the guy's athletic, so...
He looked good in the ring, but he did not look good with his choice of wrestling attire, I gotta say.
I'm surprised he was allowed to wear, like, the Green Arrow stuff in there. I mean, with all the copyright stuff from DC Comics, you know...
Yeah, I'm thinking that was probably the reason why we saw a rather bland attire from him last night, other than the jacket he wore for his entrance.
Well, yeah, like...
I mean, they don't want to mess around with those copyrights.
You can't have, like, Batman and Robin showing up in a match, you know?
There actually was a wrestler back in the day named Batman, but he spelled it Battmann, and it sucked.
Batman.
I do believe WWE's had to pay Marvel for years for use of the term Hulk. Yep. You always see in fine print in any of their magazines that Hulk is a registered trademark of Marvel Comics.
Really? Like the Incredible Hulk Hogan?
Yeah. Vince McMahon has been shelling out money for years to Marvel Comics, I imagine, so he's probably glad to be rid of him. So stop paying Marvel.
Right. Yeah.
I know that there was a Supernatural convention. I don't know how many of you watched that. Jared Padalecki, the star of that show, is good friends with Stephen Amell. And he said that he's really excited to, be a part of SummerSlam, but that they were worried he was going to get hurt. And they actually got him on the phone after SummerSlam during this panel discussion they were having. And they were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I had a blast."
I thought he looked great. I thought he did absolutely great in the ring. I thought it was mainly going to be like Neville bumping for mostly, and then Amell getting the hot tag and the pin, but it was kind of the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they still want to build up Neville to be the man in a way.
Right. Oh, by the way, here's another theory on why Stephen Amell got in. I mean, besides the internet campaign and the support and all that, Stephen Amell is going to play Casey Jones in the next Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
That's awesome.
And Sheamus is going to play Rocksteady. Did you guys hear about this?
Yeah, I did hear about that. I know that Punk was lobbying for that Casey Jones role, and I think he would have been pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, Amell got it. I would have liked to see, hopefully he could pull off that New York accent,
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering, let's see, he's going to be Rocksteady. I don't think Rocksteady had an Irish accent, did he?
No, he didn't. So that'll be interesting to see, Sheamus, Stephen Farrelly, kind of spread his wings a little bit. And, so, maybe that's part of the connection there as to how Amell got involved with WWE, besides being a fan.
That explains why Sheamus just suddenly came out with a mohawk, too. Mm-hmm. Rocksteady had the mohawk.
That was part of it. So anyway, yeah, that was a pretty good match. A lot better than I thought it would be. I like Wade Barrett, but he's almost becoming a parody of himself at this point.
Yeah, man, it's getting ridiculous. He's really good. I really like him, but they can't seem to keep with one thing with him.
And I love what Cody is doing with the Stardust character. He is like all in it. He's just fully committed to that and really running with it.
Yeah, after his dad died, I expected him to go back to being like a Rhodes family member, but he's sticking with the Stardust thing, and he does it really well.
I agree. Yeah,
I think so too. I think Cody needs to be. It's kind of a, crap or get off the pot situation for him coming up here. I mean, he's kind of found his niche, but he hasn't really progressed much. I mean, he's kind of been in the mid-card, which, there has to be mid-carders. There has to be people who fill those roles. There's a spot for a Coco Beware, and there's a spot for a Barry Horowitz.
Right.
But I feel like Cody Rhodes, I think he could get a little bit more of a rub than he's had. Maybe not, I'm not going to say Cody Rhodes should be World Heavyweight Champion, because I don't agree with that.
But, well, why not?
I mean,
why
and Goldust was never Heavyweight Champion, so it's like, why would Stardust be whatever Goldust wasn't,
I agree.
Maybe he could be one day. I mean, the thing about Cody, he's always reinventing himself, and I like that. I do.
Yeah, I liked him years ago with the face mask thing, where he was that evil...
The grotesque Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, that was awesome. And even dashing Cody Rhodes was kind of funny.
That was
with
hilarious.
The mustache was getting cheered.
Yeah.
I just have one issue with him, and that's gimmick infringement. It was AJ Styles that got the gloves to come together to say P1.
Yes.
And Stardust stole it.
That's true. Yep. A lot of football players started doing that, and I think AJ took it, and I think Cody just happened to be the first guy in WWE to use it, but yeah, AJ did do it first.
Well, Cody's definitely used the hood and everything before, so I guess you could make a case for that, but
he seems like he should be on the old Batman TV series, like his acting.
Yeah, it's very over the top. He's very big reactions. So.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's like
it
he's
works,
trying.
Though. It works for wrestling. I mean,
It's
the same company that made the Ultimate Warrior a legend, and it's like that's as over the top as it gets.
Easy now.
No disrespect.
Go easy.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the Warrior, but
Warrior brother.
You're headed into a world of hurt right now. I'll tell you that.
All
Greatest
right.
wrestler of all time.
I'm about to cut a Warrior-like promo in here.
All right. Well, don't fire up the rocket ship just yet. We still got this. Okay.
There's a million other examples you could have used other than the Ultimate Warrior, but
well, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it's a character who's big and flashy and over the top, and that's what he's supposed to be. So I meant that in a good.
Right on. All right. Okay. Fine.
All right.
Yeah, and just quickly to close out on Cody Rhodes, go and check out his interviews with Sam Roberts and Peter Rosenberg. I mean, he is hilarious no matter what. He's always in gimmick. He's always so quirky and just weird. And I think it's cool to see somebody do that all the time. I've heard that he's kind of committed to this, and I like that. I like him to really be strange, and I think that
it's kind of funny whenever he interacts with his wife, Brandy Eden Styles.
Yeah.
Heyo.
Hey.
Sorry about that, Cory. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. What were you going to say?
I can't remember.
I'm sorry about that, buddy.
Now all anybody can think about is Eden Styles.
That's not a bad way to transition there, pal.
As it should be. Let's see. After that, we had the Intercontinental Triple Threat match, which was pretty good. I mean, I thought all three guys did pretty good. You gotta give credit to Miz. I mean, the guy's a natural heel. I mean, he's just a perfect cowardly heel.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's genuinely dislikable.
Right.
It's not that he's terrible in the ring or he's even bad or anything. I don't want to see the Miz on my television anymore.
Okay.
I gotta say, he's been in the IC title scene now for a long time since he lost the heavyweight title. It's as far as it's gonna go. And,
it's almost like Bizarro World. Like, wait a minute, this guy main evented WrestleMania? What?
Yeah.
I'm not even crazy about him. I know he's a last minute replacement for Hogan, but I don't really like him as a judge on Tough Enough either.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
It doesn't seem credible. I don't know. You're a reality star turned wrestler, giving people advice on how to break into the business and stuff. It just seems odd.
Right, he kind of got in through Tough Enough as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Real World and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird. Both Ryback and The Miz, they were in the same match together. They both came.
Yeah, Ryback is a Tough Enough guy as well, and
same season actually.
Right. And
but not the winner of Tough Enough. You never see him anymore.
Yeah, Daniel Peter.
Tried to break Kurt Angle's arm.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we all know how that happened. I thought it was a pretty good match for kind of a lousy build-up, you know?
Yeah.
It was what it was.
Ryback's not terrible. I think he's done a lot of growth, over the last couple years.
I agree.
The big guy.
The big guy. He's
he's pretty entertaining now. I like him.
I like him. He's not one of my favorite guys. I don't really tune in to watch Ryback. I had figured that the Big Show was going to get the IC title here, and I know that's groan-worthy to a lot of people, but I've always liked Show. I always have. He's a giant. He works like a giant. He's basically Andre, too, and Andre was always my favorite, so...
Yeah.
It's always good to see Show in there. I just wish that they would stick with one run and not flip-flop them all the freaking time.
Yeah, that's fair, but Ryback ended up getting it. I thought The Miz was going to, but Ryback got it. After that, they had Jon Stewart going after Lesnar and running into Heyman, and he just cut an epic promo on Paul Heyman. I gotta say, Stewart puts like everyone in WWE to shame on the mic, Heyman included, which is saying something.
I don't know if I can agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, Paul Heyman is the man. I mean, we got to stand up for every now and then to prove a point. Yeah.
That's it, and that's not a knock against Jon Stewart, but
no, but Paul Heyman is unbelievable.
True. But what was with the Glory Brock Lesnar song? I mean, come on,
yeah,
Paul, you're better than that.
Well, I'm not crazy about that, to be honest, but
yeah.
I'm not either. But we're here talking about it, and we remembered that he said it, so I guess that his intent worked, I would assume.
Yeah, I guess so. And I'm not knocking Heyman. I'm a big Heyman guy, but it's just, I don't know. I thought he could do better than that. He does some cheesy stuff from time to time.
I'm not gonna lie, I have my I'm a Paul Heyman girl shirt.
Nice.
I have a I'm a Paul Heyman guy shirt.
Wow.
There you go.
I have a giant cell phone from 1992 and a mullet.
All right, Cory wins.
Dangerous alliance for life.
I have a tennis racket like Jim Cornette.
Of course you
Nice.
do. And a loud blazer.
Yeah, but do you carry a baseball bat in your car in case you run into Vince Russo like Jim Cornette?
I love Jim Cornette, man. Jim Cornette's great.
Oh, good times. Up next, we had Ambrose and Reigns versus Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. I kind of forgot about the whole Reigns-Wyatt feud until they reminded me, so I don't know what that says.
I gotta say, man, my friend and I realized in this match, like this was right after the Stardust match, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We noticed the theme of wrestlers that just don't give a shit about what they're wearing in the ring now.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's the Wyatts or Dean Ambrose. I know, like, it's kind of cool. Dean Ambrose is, like, anti-authority, but, like...
Right, like...
Even Stephen Amell...
You could afford some ring gear.
Yeah, it was like, what's going on here? Like, I don't really care too much, but they're just wearing, like, jeans and wife beaters now.
They're telling him to wear that, from what I understand.
It just looks weird whenever he wrestles Luke Harper. It's like, they're going out there like twinsies.
Yeah, if I was somebody who hadn't watched wrestling in like 10, 20 years or something, I'd turn on, I'd be like, look at these guys. They're like two people out of the crowd.
Right.
They don't look like wrestlers, but I don't know.
Be part of Raven's flock.
Yeah,
there you go.
Sure.
Now, just to go complete wrestling nerd on you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed that Wyatt was wearing the horns whenever he came out last night.
Yes.
Well, this is crazy that I dug this up, but apparently it's a reference to the Demon, god damn, twice in a row, Demon, Samael, who is known for being both good and evil. In Hebrew, it translates to venom of God or poison of God.
Wow.
And he was an important archangel, a figure who is an accuser, a devil, a seducer, and a destroyer. And has been regarded as both good and evil, and Bray actually has a shirt that says "Seducer, Accuser, Destroyer."
Wow!
You cracked the case where he's getting his material.
I don't know
biblical.
if I mean I have to assume that this is Bray bringing this himself and being like, "Let's do this." I mean, not to knock WWE writers, but they haven't came up with anything this clever in a long time.
Oh yeah, that's way over their heads. That's amazing.
I thought that was a cool touch.
Cory, it sounded like you were being possessed by a demon, trying to get that word out originally. But
I think you were trying to say Damien and Demon, which is understandable.
I was trying to say Demon and Samel, however the fuck you pronounce it.
It's like you're trying to say Damien Demento. I didn't know what was going on there.
Oh, leave him out of this. Leave him alone.
I wish I could.
He's coming after.
Yeah, the match was awesome. I mean, Ambrose just sells like a champ. He's awesome. It just didn't seem like the crowd was as into it as they could have been.
Well, we've seen this, and over the past year, it's just the Shield versus the Wyatts again, minus.
Right, like I wish they did it a year ago when they had and then just make it a 6-man tag. But I don't think they really pulled the trigger on that. So now it's just the 4.
Oh, they did that at Elimination Chamber 2014.
Oh, did they? Okay.
The Shield versus the Wyatts, and it was awesome. It was a great match, but it's just we've seen this already.
Is Eric Rowan injured, or what's his
name?
Yeah,
because they reunited before him and Bray did.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know why they ever split them up.
I don't even know why they broke up. Yeah, I don't know why they broke up in the first place. It was kind of a waste. Yeah, I mean, all 4 guys are just awesome in the ring. Crowd still.
That was all right.
The crowd still hates Reigns for some reason, but I think Ambrose and Reigns have great chemistry. But they've been doing promos like Ambrose saying that Reigns is his only friend, which to me screams, okay, there's going to be heel turn soon.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a Marty Jannetty barbershop window incident coming between those.
It's coming.
Oh, yeah. It's
just a matter of time.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Jack. I was going to say that myself. I'm just wondering, it seems like to me it would be better to go with the natural momentum. While Reigns does have a lot of fans, I would say the majority of people don't like him. So I would think that they would go with Reigns, if anybody was going to turn on anybody, that they would go with Reigns turning on Ambrose rather than Ambrose turning on Reigns. But I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see. I think that they're going to slow burn that one, though.
I hope so. I hope they don't just shotgun it out of nowhere. But anyways, yeah, we moved up to the main event, or no, it's not the main event. It's like the semi-main.
I'm surprised how early in the card this match was.
I agree. It was the title versus title match, Rollins versus Cena. As usual, the crowd hates Cena. Ugh, just turn him heel already, Vince. Come on.
John Cena sucks.
But then they also acknowledged that he made his 500th Make-A-Wish, so that he's not turning heel anytime soon.
How are you going to turn that guy heel? Come on.
He's provided more Make-A-Wishes than any celebrity in history now. Surpassed everybody.
And that's awesome. I mean, I think
that's what it all comes down to, man. Is
I guess so, but I mean, it's just
Could you imagine him a heel, Jack?
Yeah, yeah, I could.
I could.
He would start to get cheered, though. That's the weird dynamic.
Yeah.
He'd be like, never give up. You should always give up. You guys are losers.
Always give up.
I mean,
never try.
As long as Cena is getting some reaction, he's good to go. Whenever he goes out there and nobody chants anything, then it's time to start worrying and changing things. I feel like.
I guess so. It's just such a weird thing, and it's funny. As tired as most people are of Cena's gimmick, I'm also tired of the "Let's go Cena sucks" thing. It's almost like it's just played out at this point.
They came up with a new one last night. It was the New Day chant, but it was Cena sucks. I heard that.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I heard.
That's clever. That's interesting.
So they're getting creative, at least.
But I mean, even the Cena hate is getting played out at this point. It's just
Is anyone going to mention Seth Rollins' outfit that he came out?
Yeah, he looks like the Good Humor Man.
Yeah.
At least he's trying something different, though.
I think it looks better in the all black.
Right.
Yeah, did you guys notice the correlation that Seth Rollins wore white and gold, Bayley wore white and gold the night before, and the New Day wore white and gold? And all came away with gold.
That's interesting. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's something.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Chad.
It kind of looked like Seth, to me, was trying to look like Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, the Iron Man match. I forget the number.
That would be 12.
Yeah,
Shawn 12. And Brett. He kind of dressed up like him. I don't know if this was.
Yeah, a little bit. He reminds me of Shawn Michaels a little bit.
A little bit.
But he was dominating that match. I mean, he was very entertaining. Backflips, forward flips, doing all kinds of stuff. And then they kind of ruin it, by bringing out Jon Stewart and making it seem like, Rollins couldn't beat Cena by himself when he clearly was. And so, they bring Jon Stewart out and he can't even barely hit the guy with the chair the proper way. It looks all
and that was so, it was so delayed. And just hit him already. And I know you're going to hit him.
Yeah.
I think it was poor execution and a screwy finish coming at the end of what was a pretty damn good match, I thought.
I mean,
exactly, yeah.
SummerSlam is supposed to be... I'm sorry, what was that, Chad?
That's why I was really upset with the finishes. This was part one. Okay, I hope the next match has a better finish. We'll get into that later, but...
that's why this will never be WrestleMania. They say it's a match too big for WrestleMania. It's no.
Nothing is too big for WrestleMania.
That's the worst thing they've ever come up with, because it just shits all over their biggest pay-per-view.
Right, yeah. And by the way, this is supposed to be their second biggest pay-per-view. They have all these finishes that
Dude, yeah, imagine a count-out finish at WrestleMania.
Oh my god!
All these finishes, it's like an episode of SmackDown. Come on.
Yeah, it's really rushed, and you could tell they changed their minds a few times before.
And they
Are y'all glad we're not paying $54.95 for this crap anymore?
Yes, we are.
Oh my god!
We're paying epic amounts of money for beer and wings at sports bars.
Yeah.
I do kind of miss that Wing House, except for the people yelling at the tables.
Yeah, friggin' marks.
You're not even at a show. You're in a bar yelling.
Right. It's like they can't hear you.
It's actually probably a good thing for me, because I almost got in a bar fight the last time I was at Wing House because somebody was talking badly about TNA, and I almost lost my mind.
Oh, and yeah, I used to have to put up with guys that were
you shut your mouth. I was like, you don't know AJ Styles' passion, shut your mouth.
Know your role.
So, and then he's like, you want to take it in the parking lot? I was like, yeah, we can take it in the parking lot, let's go.
It was a dude challenging you to a fight, Jen?
Yeah. And I was totally ready to go.
Sounds like this dude almost caught a Styles clash in the Wing House parking lot.
Wow.
He probably would have.
You should have whooped his ass.
I probably should have, but at the same time, it was
I'm gonna teach this girl a lesson.
They were gonna
not worth it.
So I shut up. I let him keep talking smack.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
great match, but the ending...
Good match, lousy finish.
Yeah, I think we all agree that finish was a pile of shit.
Yeah, Cena is great with the false finishes, though. I mean, say what you will about Cena, the guy can work.
Oh, you mean Big Match John?
Big Match John.
Work meaning great entertainer, or work meaning great wrestler?
Take your pick. I mean, either way. I
gotta say, I'm not a fan of that springboard stunner he keeps fucking up every time.
Nah. Oh, God. I would say, Jen, to answer that question directly, I would say he's a fantastic entertainer, much in the mold of Hulk Hogan, The Rock, guys who didn't have to work. They got their routine, they go out there and they do it. Yeah. Everybody pops for it, everybody goes home happy. See you next time. I mean, John Cena's not a terrible wrestler, but he's not exactly Billy Robinson or Carl Gotch either.
Right. I don't see anything wrong with that, though, personally.
Well, yeah, they said the same thing about Hogan and Warriors. They're not known for being technical wrestlers like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, but they didn't need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the personalities, and that's Cena. He's just all catchphrases and merchandise, and that's never going away anytime soon.
No, exactly. After that, they had a commercial, WWE Breaking Ground. That looks like an interesting show, a little bit more reality-based. They got the Edge and Christian Stone Cold podcast. So it's like the network should have been doing this stuff from the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
It took them a while to find what the network should be used for. And now they're doing like house show from Madison Square Garden. Should be kind of cool. I was wondering what happened with the MSG. It's too expensive to run shows there now because they did 3 nights in Brooklyn. You think one of them would have been MSG?
Yeah, you would think they would get in the Garden, but I don't know. They did.
Not
pretty
sure
cool having a
what's going
3-night
on.
stand at the Barclays though. That's awesome. Anyways, we had the triple threat Divas match. Team PCB versus defeated Team Bella and Team BAD. Well, I guess everything has to be called Team now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta say right up front, Team PCB.
Panama City Beach, man. I raged there back in '96, bro.
Nice.
Maybe PBC or some other variation of the letters, but it also sounds like PCP.
Is it one person in particular or the whole team that you dislike?
No, just the name PCB. It wouldn't bother me. I like the team. I like all three of them. They're actually really good.
Yeah. I think they may have had to maybe hastily came up with that after the first name submission sorority. Oof.
That's one of those decisions, though. It's like, who came up with that? Like a child or
I don't know.
Vince himself?
It's a shame. I mean, I liked that name. It's a shame that it happens to be connected to a porn site. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
that's why they need someone like me to do the research. Let them know. that's already a porn site.
Wait a minute. You would love WWE to pay you to look at porn sites, Brian? Is that what you're saying?
I'm sure somebody already has that job there.
I'm pretty sure that's Howard Finkel, buddy.
Well,
that's the Brooklyn Brawler all day long. He's still backstage.
It probably would have been Lord Alfred's job had he been around. Call back. It's a dirty job, but I think it's a dirty job, but I think you're the right man for it, Brian.
Yeah, I think you may have to graduate from the Terry Garvin School of Self-Defense before you can qualify, though.
I get that reference.
Oof.
Yikes.
Wish I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. The match itself was good, I thought. They must be extending Nikki Bella's reign just to stick it to AJ Lee.
I think so.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're also giving the Bellas credit for this whole give Divas a chance thing, and it was AJ that tweeted.
Which, I mean, the Bellas aren't terrible, but I don't
Lee?
feel like that they're the ones who are...
Yeah, AJ Lee.
Yeah. I mean, they're alright. The Bellas are, good. Personally, I would like to see Nikki Bella hold the title all this time to, like, 1 day short, and then lose it.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, like something
I think Bree should have it.
I agree.
Yeah, I know they were thinking about turning Bree face and having her feud with Nikki, but they dropped the storyline there.
What storyline? What? Explain it? What? Nope.
Exactly. I definitely will give the Bellas credit. They have been working hard to improve, so you can't fault them for that.
Yeah, she was actually learning how to. Not that she's learning, but she's getting better. She's improving.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've been around for a while, and they've had a lot of success, so they must be doing something right. But as far as the match itself, I thought the match was good. It was just so much at once that it was probably hard to really get everybody over.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good, but again, it's really, really hard to top Sasha versus Bayley. I mean, I hate to keep going back to it, but that was one of the best women's matches I've seen in all of my years of watching pro wrestling. No hyperbole whatsoever.
Hell, that was one of the best matches, period, I've seen in a long time.
Absolutely.
I saw a lot of people last night doing dives, including the Divas matches, but there was a lot of diving through the ropes, and they all do that move where they push you into the announce table kind of thing. I don't know what that move is. I don't know. I just happened to notice a lot of them do that, especially last night.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's speaking of announce tables, it seemed like the French announce table has graduated to where the Spanish announce table used to be. But let's move on to the next match. Kevin Owens versus Cesaro. Kevin Owens ended up going over. What did you guys think about that?
Cesaro probably should have went over.
I like Owens winning here. I think that it leaves it open for a series of matches over the next couple months, and I think these guys are just going to keep getting better and better. And I think this is going to be one of the most anticipated feuds coming into the back half of the year here.
Yeah, I could definitely see them doing like a best 3 out of 5 type of deal, like they did with Booker T and some other guy.
Hardcore Holly.
Him who must not be named.
No, yeah. Well, and Hulk Hogan's another dirty word.
I know, too. Right? Well, anyways, I thought it was a really great match, very physical, back and forth. Those guys just beat the crap out of each other. And I thought it was one of the best of the night.
Yeah, man, that was my match of the night. Cesaro is awesome with those uppercuts, forearms that he throws, man. They're so good. Crowd love.
He is super over right now, but let's move on to what was basically the main event, Brock versus Undertaker. Good match, but very, very controversial finish.
Wow is all I got to say about the finish. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot to say about this.
Oh, yeah, it definitely was not a popular decision. Chad, I know you called me up that night, and yeah, you were telling me all about it, and you were not happy.
Yeah. To have clearly Taker is tapping out, and you got the ref. The ref doesn't signal to the person that rings the bell, and the bell starts ringing, and then they think, oh, Brock Lesnar won, and then you got Undertaker doing the low blow. But besides that, then you got Undertaker just holds him and puts him in a submission, and Brock Lesnar clearly doesn't give up, but he gives a middle finger to the whole WWE universe, saying, "This is how we're gonna end your SummerSlam, guys. Good night."
Yeah,
So,
I liked that.
Yeah, Brock with a bloody face giving the middle finger, and he said "Suplex City, bitch." He's probably racking up all kind of fines last night.
I'm pretty sure Brock Lesnar said, "I'm going to kill you" last night.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he did.
And then Undertaker said, "You're gonna have to."
You're gonna have to. And then he looked at him, I almost crapped myself laughing from the whole sit-up
Brock
spot.
Sit up and laughed at him.
Taker looked like Chucky, from Child's Play. Like he looked like Chucky in a Rampage.
That was very uncharacteristic of him to do that. Like, kind of broke character.
Yeah, super awkward.
And by the way, definitely go out and check out all the photoshops people have been doing of that.
Yeah,
Undertaker.
I saw them. Somehow in 24 hours they're already up, and it's amazing.
Yeah. I thought the match was entertaining. It was just the ending I was upset with. How
it's actually, I think they had a better match last night than they did at WrestleMania, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Taker looked pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, he looked like he's improved from a year and a half ago.
You see that video of him collapsing, though?
I heard about it.
I did.
No, after last night he collapsed.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
What do you guys think? You guys think that was legit or what?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Was it like,
never know with him.
I think he might have just, I don't know. He might have tripped.
No.
It was right by the curtain, where you come in.
I've seen a lot of speculation on it today, but immediately whenever I saw it, I said that's a work.
Yeah, it's hard to tell these days.
Yeah, I gotta think he's just selling.
There was no cameras on it, though.
I mean, I hate to say it, but how much time does he have left?
Yeah.
I gotta say, it's gotta be wrapping up soon. Or Brock, you notice Brock didn't toss him around like he does all the other guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you can't.
Yeah.
There's clearly a rematch now, right? I mean, they both won, so it's like,
I would say the next one's gonna be a Hell in a Cell at either Hell in a Cell or WrestleMania.
I mean, that's the only logical explanation for this finish is that they have another one in the works. So then they must be trying to tell a story.
Yeah, it seems a weird way to wind down his career, is giving people shots to people's nuts,
right?
Low blows.
Well, hey, I mean, not that he's not capable of it, but like, what's the point of turning him heel at this point?
To play dead man's advocate here, I like this Undertaker because he's desperate. You can really sense that he's. I mean, I think they're going for a story arc here, and it might take some time to play out, but I feel like that they're trying to humanize Taker more and more.
He lost Paul Bearer and he lost the streak. So I think those are two things that are showing that he's only human, like the rest of us, and he's getting desperate. And, maybe not. I don't think they're that clever, honestly.
Maybe not.
That kind of.
I do know that they've been mentioning, though, and I've been looking forward to it as well. Survivor Series will be the 25th anniversary of Taker's debut with the company.
I did notice that. I think that would be a good time to have some kind of casket match, something like that, and then have him return at WrestleMania for Hall of Fame in Texas.
Yep.
And just call it a day. Like, thank you. We've seen enough.
Yeah, he looks like he's in a lot of pain.
That wouldn't be a bad way to go out.
He's done enough, man. He's done it all. It's like, there's nothing left.
That's true. By the way, is it me or is this whole Suplex City thing being played out? I mean, I'm over it already.
It was cool when he did it to Roman Reigns. He was killing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, by the way. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, Brock looked like he stiffed the crap out of Roman, and it looks like they were working really stiff at SummerSlam. He and Taker, I mean.
Yeah,
snug.
I would say that Taker is probably, just from watching, obviously I'm not a worker, I don't know this, but he's stiff in safe places, whereas Brock sometimes a little bit wild. Sometimes they kind of pass through with him, but I think generally speaking, both of them are pretty physical, and I think that no matter what, they could do 3 more matches on pay-per-view with these guys if they spread them out and promote them right. And all of them could be main events, huge main events. And I don't expect to see, Taker versus Lesnar coming up at the next pay-per-view, I think Night of Champions. But I'm thinking that by Survivor Series, Hell in a Cell, I'm thinking we're probably going to see it happen again.
Do you think that this was the start of an angle? I mean, I haven't watched Raw tonight, obviously, but like it's a rogue timekeeper type of thing that just... I gotta say, never in the history of watching wrestling have I ever seen a finish where the timekeeper rang the bell without the referee telling him to.
Right.
Like, it's never been done.
Hey,
yeah.
I've got a theory on that. I've got a theory on it. Hear me out. Pete Gas.
Oh,
Hey, he ain't done yet.
It's long overdue.
Yes. Honestly, as soon as I saw it, I thought, great, here we go, another Authority screwjob finish. Because that's been what they've been doing at SummerSlam for years now. But this finish was, they tried to explain it by saying that the ref threw up his hand to signal 1 or something, that it was just a 1 count. And
do you think it was a mistake that they just expounded upon? Like, on the spur of the moment?
I think this was the plan from the start, and it just ended up with some poor execution.
agreed.
Right?
I think so, yeah. I think that the view, the positioning in the ring would have been better if the referee would have had his back to the ramp and Taker would have had his right side exposed to the timekeeper, to where the timekeeper actually did see Undertaker tapping and interpreted that, and Brock, interpreted the referee throwing up the 1 count and Brock letting go of the hold as the end of the match. At least then it would have...
Yeah, but it's some heel type shit that he would tap out and like the ref didn't see it.
It is, but again, I think that ties back to this desperate Undertaker that they're trying to humanize him. Because, let's face it, we're not going to be able to see a 70-year-old dude covered in tattoos come out and roll his eyes and rest in peace. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
He's going to have to come out and just be the elder statesman of the company, and the Babe Ruth of the company that Vince McMahon has always wanted all of his life. If Taker does stay in the business.
I gotta say, last night when I heard the bell, the gong, I fully expected to hear "Dead Man Walking," and he came out as the biker guy again.
So
I don't know. I had this weird, that's why I watched Judgment Day after, because I was showing my friend when he came out on the bike, and it was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He keep rolling. It was very weird.
It's sad that I can actually sing the lyrics to half of these theme songs, but I cannot remember my college education.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I think so.
Silly.
Man, I don't know about... I don't know if we're going to end up seeing old Booger Red, Big Evil Undertaker before he goes out or not, but I'm thinking that that's going to be the end game here, is that they're just going to keep trying to humanize Undertaker for the long run, so that whenever he does come back and do a special appearance, it's not going to look cheesy looking at the Crypt Keeper, old man out there, rolling his eyes.
I expected some involvement from either Kane with the mask.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Kane
Sting.
was gonna come out.
I thought maybe Sting was going to have a confrontation, but nothing.
Yeah, I have not watched Raw yet, and I have heard some rumblings about the Stinger, but I will.
He's back. He's back in town. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I thought no spoilers there, but
no, I know.
Yeah, we'll all find out soon.
You got DVR it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's like WrestleMania is, where the night after Raw is better than WrestleMania.
Yeah,
right. That wouldn't surprise me, considering they have the same crowd there from the Barclays Center, sold out 3 days in a row. Ultimately, I thought the pay-per-view really wasn't that bad.
It was hyped up a lot, so we were.
That's kind of sad that we always review pay-per-views that way. Like, oh, I've seen worse.
And pay-per-view.
I mean, it was good. It was just the finishes were disappointing.
Nobody wants to see a match finish on a count out or whatever, or a submission move. You got to do like a Stone Cold Stunner or a Rock Bottom or something cool. Like, that's not.
I think I had a feeling they were trying to do the Austin Bret Hart WrestleMania 13
Oh
deal.
yeah, that one
Where
actually was
Austin-
kind of cool because Austin.
Well, when you Austin was covered with the crimson mask,
Yeah.
bloody face, just like Brock last night.
That's the only time I've ever liked that.
And Austin threw up the middle finger. Brock threw
Yeah.
up the middle finger. And
I didn't quit.
I remember that they also switched sides, where Bret Hart was a heel after that, and Austin.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Was a face. So they might be doing the same deal where Taker's a heel, Brock is a face.
Like a double turn.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like this is going to be the last match they have with each other.
No, I'm thinking that if anything, this is just one chapter, and we got quite a few more to go. And hopefully they won't hit us with some more screwy finishes. We get some more definitive wins here from these guys. Because I got to say, after watching New Japan's G1 tournament for the last month, and all these awesome finishes, they're all definitive, no screwy countouts and DQs and all this crap. After watching that and watching Takeover Brooklyn and then watching SummerSlam, where the finishes fell flat, there was no resolution, which there doesn't always have to be, but you can't have so many weird finishes in one night, I don't think. I'm hoping that Survivor Series is a little bit more well written and well executed. SummerSlam, it was all right. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. Not my favorite SummerSlam of all time. Not my least favorite.
My favorite SummerSlam of all time would be '91.
That's a great one.
Just throwing that out there.
Brett gets the IC title from Mr. Perfect. Great choice.
Virgil wins $1 million title.
That's WWE legend Virgil to you, my friend.
That's right.
Absolutely. Don't forget.
Well, guys, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for joining me on this this great review of SummerSlam and NXT Takeover. Really love the panel vibe we have going on here. I think we have a lot of good chemistry. I would definitely like to have you guys on again. Before we go, just let the listeners know where they can find you on Twitter, social media, that sort of thing.
You can find me. This is Chad Radosevich. You can find me at ChadRad24 on Twitter and Instagram.
Jennifer. Well, I'm the only girl, aren't I? Damn. I'm at BrunetteBunny85 on Twitter. I also have a WordPress account where I kind of ramble sometimes when I get upset at wrestling. And it's geekyischeeky.wordpress.com because I'm a geek.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nothing wrong with that. Brian, where can they find you online?
I don't wish to be found. No.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Go away.
I just don't. I don't know any of the titles of I'm an idiot. Like I have a Twitter name, but it's long, and I didn't put any thought into it.
Gotta simplify.
And I don't really know what I'm doing. So there's also that.
Well, none of us do, so it's okay.
Right. I figured this Skype nonsense out. So.
Right,
Good,
we're getting there.
Good for me.
Yeah, Cory, of course, can be found at chronocord.com. Cory, is there anywhere else, anything else you'd like to plug? Anywhere else we could find you?
Yeah, you can find us on SoundCloud. We have our original instrumental music at Chronocord. You can find us on Twitter at Chronocord, Instagram at Chronocord. Where else? YouTube, of course, at Chronocord Media. Go check us out. Subscribe. Always a pleasure to get on here and talk wrestling with some fellow fans, and look forward to joining back with you guys here sometime soon in the very, very near future.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Guys, a quick postscript to all this. For those of you listening, we posted this on Wednesday, August 26th. We actually recorded this a couple days before at around an hour and 14 minutes when I was going back and editing this. The audio on my end, on my channel, just kind of cut out. And I was going back to try and recapture whatever I had recorded past that point. And even though I got the conversation from Cory and Brian and Jen and Chad, my end of the conversation was not in it. So it was probably pretty obvious going back listening that I was trying to punch in and kind of keep the integrity of the review as much as possible, or at least keep things flowing. So I did have to edit that portion. It's a shame you didn't hear the complete unedited conversation because it was a lot of fun. But I'd like to think you got enough where you kind of understood, and we got most of it down. And so hopefully it didn't sound too bad. That's the good thing about being the host of one of these things, that it's like you're driving the ship, but you're not necessarily providing all the content. That's what the guests are for. And depending on how you feel, it might be better hearing less of my voice there anyway. So, but be that as it may, obviously I didn't want to, call those guys back because a lot had happened on the Raw the night after. I mean, we saw the return of the Dudley Boys. We saw the return of Sting, which I'm really excited about. So lots definitely happening, and we will try to keep you, well, not necessarily updated. I mean, because you can go on and, just watch the show and figure out from anyone else. But I'm sure the next time we have a big event, I'll have those guys back. Pretty good reaction panel. Let me know what you think. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at JackXConnor and like me on Facebook at facebook.com/JackConnorMusic. Also, feel free to check out my band, Vertebreaker, at www.vertebreaker.net. Yes, it was named after the Shane Helms move of the same name, but, I think we're allowed to use it. And if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, make sure you email me at jackconnorpodcast@gmail.com or tweet me with the hashtag Phoenix Report. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, and go back to listen to all the other episodes, all the reactions, and all the basic episodes that we have. Thank you guys for joining. This has been the Phoenix Report. I'm Jack Connor. I will see you next time. Bye.